What's going on, YouTube? This is ATG Smitty Plays over on Twitch here. Today we're going to go over the deck profile for the second place finisher of the ATGCS, which just happened this previous weekend. If y'all don't know about it, it was an 84-person event in which very weird decks, just to say the least, have topped. And one of them being Phantom Knight. Very odd to see, but hey, it made it to top cut. And eventually placed second, going against the BMT, who we'll cover in a bit. Today I have Big Pimpin' on the channel, and he's going to go ahead and explain some deck choices, his matchups, and other things. Big Pimpin', would you like to introduce yourself?
Nah, I'm good. No, what's up, guys? This is Big Pimpin' 12, twitch.tv/Big Pimpin' 12. If you want to check me out, I had to plug the stream real quick, and thanks for having me on, Smitty.
No problem, no problem. So the first thing I really want to go over before I even go over your list is what matchups you went up against.
One thing real quick, you can see that there's two Verite in that extra deck. I guess that's the updated list, because I just did that last night. That second Verite before was in Avermax. Just wanted to put that out there.
Okay.
But round 1, I went against True Draco. Round 2 was against Cubics. Round 3 was against Mech Knights, which I lost. Round 4 was at Emancipator Prank Kids, and then round 5 was Zoo Eldritch.
Oh wow! So oddly enough, you didn't go up against any of the virtual players that were on here today. And what about top?
How many were there? Like 43 VW players or something?
Well, looking at the entirety of the list, it was 19 out of the 84, so it's about 22.6% of
43, same thing.
Yeah, just about.
They made up almost, what'd you say, 22%?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't run into that at all.
It was quite a big chunk. Actually, I think that was the most represented deck, and then following that was going to be Zoo Eldritch at six people who represented it, and so that's a pretty significant drop, just to say the least.
And day 2, I played Eldritch, and then Zoo Eldritch again, and then Mech Knights again, which I lost. So I did play 2 of the 6 Zoo Eldritch players.
Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, it's also interesting to note that Zoo Eldritch outperformed in the event and actually made it to top cut, whereas only one VW player out of the entirety of the 19 only made it to day 2. Alright, so
Crazy.
Let's go over your deck list a little bit. So interestingly enough, when I go over this, I see a little bit of mostly I see level 3 extenders that go off in this deck. Now the one thing that really kind of concerned me with this list is going over your hand trap lineup. So you have 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Skullmeister, 3 Joel, which some people can consider standard now in the main deck, but you only play the 1 Ogre. Why is it that you opted for the 1 Ogre in a 60 card list?
Well, I do run E-Telly. And so the meme was, hey, I can set E-Telly, and on my opponent's turn, I can summon Ogre, and Ogre, unlike the other Ghost Girls, can send herself from field to destroy a card, for her effect.
Okay.
So it's just kind of a meme, and then it comes up sometimes. I don't know, but yeah, basically it's just a meme. It is a level 3 card, and this deck does run around level 3. So worst comes to worst, you normal summon Ogre, and then use one of your, was there like 25 other level 3 extenders in there, and sometimes it comes up.
Okay. And how often did it come up in this tournament? Did you ever get to play it?
Did I get to Ogre anything? No, actually. So, no. The short answer, no.
Okay. I like the inclusion of the 2 level 3 dangers in here. The list seems pretty standard otherwise. So I see that you're playing the 2 the PK package essentially, but I don't see a Libic in here. Oh, I do see a Libic.
No, Libic's in there, yeah.
Okay. What why did you opt to only play 3 BA instead of a higher BA count?
Well, full disclosure, this was originally a Sir Eminon list. It was his 50 card PK list, and then I kind of adjusted it to see how, for my standards, which is 60 cards.
Okay.
I end up turning every deck into 60 cards somehow. But he originally only ran Seer and Graph, and I eventually had put in the Libic myself. But I don't run a higher BA count because it doesn't really advance your game state. Those cards themselves, they only, they're suicidal, for lack of a better term. Unless you have Cherubini on the field, or else it's negated by Libic. They don't really extend for you. So you want them buried in your deck as much as possible. And actually, if you can see that Edge Sabers in the top right, that's actually really helpful sometimes. And that I can summon that off a tour guide, or I can send it off a Cherubini itself to put back BA pieces in my hand and get their effectiveness from the deck instead of being stuck in my hand like that.
Okay, understood. This is a cool little tech. I don't really see a lot of people running the Edge Sabers as a level 3 extender anymore. Most people have just cut it completely.
It's amazing in the grind game because it's active every turn and it doesn't banish itself like other extenders like Plague Spreader. It's live every turn, and unfortunately, I oftentimes put something on top of my deck, go into Sabers, get my play stopped, and then next turn I'm like, all right, let me top deck something good, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just forgot I put that on top of my deck, like a dead ghost spell or something.
Oh, okay, I see. What prompted you to play the 3 Cosmics in the main deck in such a big list that you felt like you needed to play some back row removal?
Well, that is another Sir Eminon choice, and I'm not a good player. I'll put that out there. So I'm not fully like up to date with the meta. I'm not observing day by day the meta shifts. I'm like, oh, this week back row is really good, and this week's combo is really good. So should I have Nibiru? I just kind of kept them in there. But I mean, I always want to play something for mine, and Cosmic is just the best utility spell and trap removal right now, and it can't hurt to have it, right?
True,
that's my
very
thought.
True.
Even if it's 60, this deck can grind so well. I can kind of hang around with something like mine, or something like True Draco, for instance. Hold on to the Cosmic until I want to make that push.
Okay, and so now moving on to your side deck, I see you have 3 Lancia, 3 Nibiru, 3 Gamma, and the Driver, of course, and then pretty much back row removal or back row hate with the red reboot, Harpies, Feather Duster, and 3 Lightning Storms. Seeing that I don't see a Cycle Reader in the side deck anymore, have you assumed that just Drytron is no longer...
actually, right before the tournament, I decided that I gotta get these Cycle Readers out of here. I never play them. They never come up. It's only good against Drytron. Maybe against Eldritch. But it was just something I was not really seeing, and I am maining, 3 Droll, 3 Bell, 3 Meister, 3 I can play 3 Droplet. My Drytron matchup is not that bad. Okay. I can feasibly go second against them. So, I just instead opted to put into 3 Lightning Storm so that I have a better chance of OTKing or just, blowing out someone. And that Lightning Storm, my first match with True Draco, game 2, I top deck Lightning Storm, and then I was able to make Dragoon in time and burn him for game.
Oh, I remember that. We were actually watching that game. That was actually pretty crazy. We're like, oh my god, BP's gonna lose in time. He's got I think it was 5,800 life points or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then you sent out your Verite, lost 2,000 more, and we were calculating the damage in our head because he had 2 True Draco monsters, and you weren't going to be able to answer battle phase. So That was pretty clutch. Dragoon in time was pretty clutch.
Yeah, that won me 2 matches.
Speaking of Dragoon, going into the extra deck, I see you play the Dragoon package, of course. Like you said, this one of these Verte is supposed to be an Avermax. This just wasn't changed here, and so you have 1 Levier, 2 Breaksword, 1 Access Code, the Apollosa, the Cherubini, IP, Unicorn, double Link Spider, the Almirage, and the Bardiche. So, what prompted you to play 2 Link Spider?
Oftentimes, if you know the matchup, you know when to Nibiru. Like, if you know I'm playing a Dragoon variant, then you know to Nibiru when I summon Verte. But, oftentimes, people will, when I make Bardiche and then I get Cherubini in the field because of Seer's Float effect, that's when they'll Nibiru. Or after I use Bardiche's effect and summon Boots afterwards and put that on field, someone will Nibiru. So you're stuck with, so you'll have a Nibiru token and some access to Shade Brigandine, the PK trap that allows you to summon as a normal monster. So you just take those 2 normal tokens, turn them into 2 League Spiders, and you got Dragoon.
Very interesting, very interesting. I didn't think
and that's why I since opted also to put in the second Verte, because if they do Nibiru on your Verte, then you have a second Verte to do your Link Spider stuff with as well.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, of course. And how I wanted to ask, how often did this actually come up?
It comes up a lot more than you would think, actually. Like I said, people aren't too familiar with the matchup. So they're not exactly sure when to Nibiru you, because I can, if I had the foresight, I can punish you by making Appaloosa first, and then making Verte. So a lot of people will preemptively Verte, like I said, sometimes just on the Bardiche summon, and then I can find a way to revive Bardiche with like a, with my 4 traps that can reborn it. And then set a token, and then set Brigandine and then get that as a normal extender. Okay. So it does come up.
Okay. So now I'd like to ask you a couple of hypotheticals. For instance, seeing this list now, is there any way that you would like to optimize the list? Is there anything that you would take out? Anything that you would replace?
Well, optimizing it would make it 40. I would probably say if I really wanted to optimize it. But, I enjoy playing 60. I enjoy having as many tools as possible. And it makes the deck more fun to a lot more fun to play, I feel, when you have 60 cards, because your hands don't look the same. So I am sacrificing a lot of consistency for power, and taking my opponent by surprise. They can't exactly tell which path I'm going to go. Like, you'll drop a Lancia, I'm like, okay, I can play around that.
Okay.
But I have been considering putting in Nibiru's. My thought was always I didn't need Nibiru because I'd rather go first, and I always feel like Nibiru sucks in your hand going second. But this deck can just float so well that it's kind of foolish not to have the Nibiru's in there, honestly. But I'm not really sure what I would take out for them, because maybe I'd play 2 Cosmic or something and fidget around with the ratios of some cards.
Okay. Next question I would have for you is, let's say Dragoon in some form or shape gets hit by the list, which is impending, just to say the least. It should be coming anytime soon now, especially that it's March 4th as of time of recording. Saying that Dragoon is... let's say Goon is gone from the format. Would you opt for the Raiders Knight combo, or what would you replace it with?
I'm not sure of Raiders Knight, but I would definitely play Dark Requiem. I think that's where my list would lean. I did play... I've played, like, Raid Raptors in the past, like, couple months, and that ended on a Dark... that had a lot of similarities to this PK list, just with end boards, except, you're making, like, Ultimate Falcon instead of Dragoon. And that played Dark Requiem, and I think I'd probably go towards that, because I just like that card. I like having 3 monster negates.
Okay.
But it definitely is going to be tough to not have a spell and trap negate like Dragoon.
I see. Well, thank
That's
you very
the biggest
much,
weakness of this
BP.
deck. Oh, no problem. Thank you very much for hosting this towards Smitty. It was actually a lot of fun and really well run, considering it was your first big tournament like that. And yeah, it's looking forward to the next one if there is a next one.
Of course, yeah, there will be a next one pretty soon. At least we're working on something within April, and I'll definitely let everyone know about that. Before we go ahead and let you go, is there any shout outs that you would like to make? Anything you would like to say?
Well, like I said, twitch.tv/BigPippin12. I stream at god awful hours in the night. If you want to stop by. Yeah, and shout out to Toxic Fable. That's my Discord, and we're awful people. If you find us somehow, I'm sorry. And I can see they're in your chat, and they're telling me to say God. They're telling me to say really mean things about BMT, the winner of this event, who beat me twice in Swiss and in top 8. Ugh. In the finals. Oh god, he always had it. He always had it, man. But you know what? Congratulations to him, I guess. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
All right. Well, thank you very much once again,